Just real quick before we get started, Katya did not know that Carlo also didn't have an appendix. She says fuck the appendix. All right, welcome back to TV Know-It-Alls, one of the actual shows for this network that is not a Beer Olympics thing. Westworld Reviews, the penultimate episode of this season. Sadly for tonight, we do not have Jasmine, so you can turn the volume up on your viewing because it will not be as loud as normal, unless Lucas decides to be a lot louder than normal. But I don't know.
No, I quit drinking.
Without Jazz here, does either one of you want to take a crack, or do we want to do like a three-way rundown of the episode?
I can try.
All right, Lucas, you're up.
Because I have notes that chronologicalized, which is a word now.
All right, I'm down for that word.
So in this episode, we go into Caleb's past and find out about what his mission was back in Crimea, where he was sent to assassinate something. He was working for the government, sent to assassinate somebody.
In the Russian Civil War, I was reading about this.
Okay, during a Russian Civil War. They end up being honorably discharged, come back, and start doing a similar job working for that crime app, the RICO app. And that's where we find out that Caleb actually did kill his partner. And afterwards, Caleb... by the way, spoiler alert.
Not much of a spoiler.
Yeah, if you're watching this and didn't watch the episode, you're weird. So, but then you find out Caleb's memory has been re-edited in some kind of government facility. Was it government? I forget.
It's the Sirach facility.
It was a Sirach facility. Okay. Oh, because he is an outlier, which leads us to the discovery of Solomon. And Solomon is like basically a pre-beta version of Rehoibus, and but it's, as they describe it, is an insane version, an insane AI,
schizophrenic,
which Sirach has shunned away until which this was unclear to me. He awoke or came to his senses, like this AI thing.
Was it the AI thing, or was it that his brother was with Solomon and he was like waiting for his brother to come to his senses?
Maybe something was supposed to awaken.
Yeah,
that wasn't very clear to me what was supposed to awaken.
Something wasn't clear in this show.
Yeah. And then we discover that Solomon was used to discover outliers, which would have fucked up the whole plan and the point of Rehoibus, to create a new world order. And that Caleb is one of these outliers along with William. Actually, just into William's part. And William is now gallivanting with Arnold, Bernard, and Stubbs. And Arnold and Stubbs discover that Caleb learned about Caleb and him being an outlier, and we find out also that what the fuck is his name? William, his blood thing was a virus, so that it would get uploaded to a particular station, so that it could be discovered by Haldor. Dale.
I still like Charlatan.
Charlatan. Okay. And then after all this news is being discovered, bang, Maeve shows up. And then Maeve and Dolores have a Call of Duty Apex Legends type duel in this middle of the field, where each of them are using knives and swords, but there's still drones and machine guns and snipers everywhere. And Dolores gets her arm blown off. And then Maeve's going to put in the final strike, and then Dolores hits the EMP, and they all die.
Yeah.
Nice cliffhangers.
Wait. And then to wrap it up,
Oh,
Solomon
and then-
finishes his final calculations and gives the final plan. Some might say the final solution to Caleb. And Caleb walks away and is now talking to Dolores' virtual assistant, who says, like, you have instructions or something or other, which is probably to take Dolores' Pearl and put her into a new fucking body because she'll never die.
Interesting. Yeah, that's a big topic of conversation today. Is what could that strategy possibly be?
So I was reading up on some interesting things that, like, did you notice this? Because too much happened and there was a lot of things to notice. The most interesting one I saw is if you freeze frame on the tablets that they're holding about different patient numbers. For some, it's either a weird glitch, lazy production, or a clue for the future. Caleb and the Men in Black have the exact same, like, 12-digit patient ID number.
Oh,
Interesting.
There's a chance that it's just like lazy production because they're like these giant ID numbers.
they just copy paste it.
But, if you look at it, we've already seen young William, though, so it can't be like a clone or something, but maybe a hidden son or something. You never know.
Also interesting now that William is now walking around as the Man in White.
Yeah, I thought about that
However-
too.
However,
He's still hunting hosts.
he's reverted back to his like basically super original thought that the hosts are can openers and humans are superior. They all need to die. I was like, this is what he's been the whole time. So he just I guess just doesn't grow as a character, or he will. I don't know. We'll see.
Well, Bernard still needs them, so.
For what? I don't
Yeah.
understand that.
I don't. Yeah, I'm interested to find out what he could possibly need William for,
Can we-
because William just seems like a useless character to be.
Can we talk about weird-ass motives in this show? It's like, what?
Ooh,
Why are we keeping William around when he said, I'm going to kill all of you? All right, well, you might be useful later. Come along. Or then there's Maeve, like, well, technically we're all on the same side, but don't align my motives with you. Your clone killed Hector, and now she's on my side, but I'm going to kill you because of that. What?
yeah.
What?
But this show is in my head because during that fight scene in the kitchen, like as they first start fighting, I'm going like, wait, why is Maeve fighting her again? Like in my head, and Dolores literally says, and I had to write this down. She literally says, "Why are you fighting for them?" to Maeve. I was like, "Oh, great, thank you, writer."
But even that's just like, Dolores, aren't you fighting for them? Who's the them?
Well,
guess-
not only that, it's like I told Nick this the other day. It's like the writers make such a big deal of making sure that Maeve gets put down just to be rebuilt back up to become like this ultimate fighter. Like she comes out of this freaking helicopter like, yeah, I'm a badass. And 2 seconds into the fight, Dolores is kicking her ass.
Maeve is the Charlie Brown of Westworld.
I don't get it.
Dolores
I don't-
keeps
I don't
setting up
get the
that
build-up.
football, and then Maeve is just like, whoop.
But he's right. Like they did build her up to be this like robot samurai, and then like the second move in the fight is her getting stabbed in the belly. It's like, you're fucking terrible.
She brought a sword to a gunfight. They had the best weapons were the guns, and they're sitting there with little knives and samurai swords.
Oh! I
Even
forgot about
then,
the very
Dolores
beginning
still
of the
beat her.
episode.
Even then, Dolores still beat her with a freaking knife.
I forgot about the very beginning of the episode where Clementine and Snake Face Girl are back.
I never remembered Snakeface. It's Dragonface. Snakeface Girl is
Oh, that's Westworld.
is Armitage,
Oh,
and Armitage I think is also back because they brought back. I think they brought back all of Maeve's crew because it was Hector, Armitage, Dragonface Girl, and technically Clementine, even though Clementine was briefly part of the human crew because they turned her crazy.
Mm-hmm.
And then the two techs, but they weren't robots, so they're not really part of Maeve's crew anymore.
So, where did they? Fuck, I forgot where they ended up. So they're basically going to find and kill Dolores. So we don't know where Clementine went. Clementine's floating around there somewhere.
Maybe they're on their way to Berlin to
Probably.
find out because because Rehoboam knows that there's something going on in Berlin. It already went to Jakarta to find the Dolores in Jakarta. So maybe the rest of the crew's on the way to Berlin because we don't know what's going on in Berlin.
So how many more Doloreses are there alive?
There was 5 pearls. So the Connell's pearl is gone? Oh, no. I don't know what happened to the Connor's pearl. But the Charlotte pearl is with Maeve now. This Dolores potentially is either dead or with, like, I think Caleb. Then there's the missing one that we don't know about, and then there's the one that she gave to Bernard, or that is Bernard. So we're just one unaccounted for pearl. Paracetamol reminds us that Dolores is also probably a badass fighter. And I think we have seen that she is a badass fighter. But
I think she is.
I'm also just like, what hurts them? Little knife stab wounds? Is that enough to do it?
Yeah, I think just any wound that could possibly immortalize motor function.
Because she got shot like 3 times saving Caleb like 2 episodes ago. And she was just like, come on, let's go.
Yeah. But yeah, I guess they're like...
It's whatever the plot convenience
It's definitely
for that story is.
It's plot armor.
In one episode, Dolores can get shot 1 time in the shoulder, and then she's limping along like she's about to die next few seconds. And then in the next episode, she can be pelted by bullets.
Yeah.
And it's whatever. Like it's just tis but a scratch.
Paracetamol's asking the same question. It's like, are they human bodies with organs? I think there's some versions of their bodies that are that way, but it feels like the older versions weren't built that way. But I don't.
Yeah, we don't see him like poop and pee and stuff.
Like, can they eat?
But that's season 6 probably.
But they have
That's
sex.
the big reveal
If
in
they have
season
sex, you would think that they excrete things.
6. Maybe. I think that's the big reveal in season 6 is we'll finally get some host hentai. Spoiler alert, sorry. What else do they have written down? So the people in the coffins, those are all the outliers
Yeah.
that they've rounded up. Why are they keeping them?
I'm on the show.
Why not just burn these bodies in a mass grave kind of thing?
Is it?
Why keep them?
Is it some kind of thought that like
No, I'm on the Westworld show.
some probability can happen? Some scenario
I'm on.
where it's like they need one of them to come back, or like, oh, if you reintroduce to this person and re-educate them, it could change events. So they keep them around.
Possibly. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know what the thought process is on that one.
Vicky is so loud.
Going here.
Carlo.
She's loud. Yes, I know.
Paracetamol says maybe they just don't have the heart to kill all those people.
Or maybe they're incubating aliens. But I mean,
Why are we all obsessed with aliens for next season? Is this like Lucas and the
Aliens.
Elephants? Because Jazz kept talking about aliens last night.
Wait, are they really? Is the alien thing a legit
I hope not. I really don't want to go aliens.
theory that's being xenomorphs? I mean, like you kind of have to go to space, but I just hope it's not an alien thing. I do like that we found out. Oh. See, I'm such a weird sci-fi nerd that I just see xenomorph and I assume it applies to like a bunch of different things. So, that's my B. I do like that we found out that what exactly the wafers are.
Yes.
And that they're limbic things to dull, basically, the attributes that make you human. So they're little things that make you more robotic.
Yeah.
And makes you like forget everything.
Yeah,
going
so
on in the
because it dulls your emotions, that dulls the ability to create memories, which is a perfect thing for a soldier to have.
Yeah.
Right? That's a perfect device for a soldier to have. Reduces like PTSD and things like that. Like there's plus sides, but then there's also which leads me into Aaron Paul is just constantly getting manipulated in whatever show he's in. You know what I mean? To just to just like an epic fucking level.
Yeah,
You know
but
when he's
it's a
pleading
blessing.
in front of Solomon, like, "Are you kidding me?"
It's a blessing and a curse because from the beginning of this season, my thought immediately went to like, he probably killed his friend. There's some dark twist. He probably killed his friend. Like, I didn't know where else they could go with this. And I don't know if it was because it was Aaron Paul or just because brand new character they had to have some kind of twist and there wasn't much else going on besides just this guy that he's always talking about.
Yeah.
Lucas, do you think Aaron Paul's gonna be in next season, or you think it's a one season, one and done?
No, I think they've built out this character. He's now representing the humans basically in this story. He's the human representation. He's the good guy in all of this, even though he's been manipulated into doing something absolutely terrible.
Wrench in your theory, though.
Why?
When they ride the horses into Sonora, Mexico, it's basically a recreation of the scene of Dolores and Teddy from the beginning of season 2.
Uh-huh.
And it's a very similar speech that Dolores and Teddy had at the beginning of season 2. And if you listen to the score, it's almost the same score that Dolores and Teddy had.
Mm-hmm.
Only difference is that Dolores is more leaning towards she's going to die and that she wants Caleb to, like, take the charge. But there's a lot of people saying, like, oh, this is her next Teddy.
Well, I mean, in my opinion, I
wait,
really
Carla,
think...
let me just finish my point. She's in a loop where, like, she's trying to break out of the loop, but inadvertently she's setting up another guy to die. And even Maeve was hinting at that it's like another guy that she's built up that's just going to die for her.
Interesting.
But he's different this time because he's human. It's different this time.
I personally think that Dolores is probably gonna like die, probably like in the last season. I don't think Dolores is gonna. One of my theories is I don't think Dolores is gonna live to see the end of the series.
Paracetamol says she thinks that Dolores has to die at the end. And yeah, Paracetamol, Bernard definitely said Dolores, something like Dolores isn't, there's something poetic in her programming where she won't kill the humans. She wants Caleb to do it. But I don't think she wants Caleb to kill the humans. I think she wants Caleb to kill the people in charge that made this world.
Yeah, probably. But, I mean, Caleb would do that.
Does anybody know what the title of the episode means? Past pawn?
Who was the pawn in the past?
I'm not a chess guy, but I'm assuming it's a chess move.
I was looking it up. It is a chess move. Chess move. It's basically an end game move in chess where a pawn clearly is unimportant until all the pieces have passed it. And now all of a sudden it has importance because it can do things because pieces can't go back after it. And you're like setting it up to be a lot more important.
Uh-huh.
And that's basically what it means.
Well, because now, right, Dolores is gone. And it's just Caleb that's got the mission of carrying out this big plan.
Well, I have a theory that I shared as soon as the episode was over, which was, what if the last pearl is Dolores' backup?
Just more Dolores.
Yeah.
Why not?
She's already done
Probably.
it. This is just the one that she doesn't activate until...
She's got a backup just as her raid drive failsafe.
Yeah.
Her final pearl.
Yeah.
Like, why not?
It's just her again in Berlin. Yeah, why not? But this, I mean, I think this was one of my favorite episodes, even though the show is confusing at times.
I liked this episode, but I complained a lot because I felt like they were just beating a dead horse with the Caleb stuff. It's like, you got it immediately, you knew where it was going. Move on, there's more interesting things happening. Like, we just kept, like, going through it. There wasn't, to me, a lot of mystery there. There wasn't a lot of, like, big surprise. It was just like, come on. Just get there.
It's basically the rules of 3, and they broke the rules of 3.
I guess that's a way of looking at it.
And for anyone watching that doesn't know what the rules of 3 is, it's basically if you're going to show something multiple times, you don't go past 3 times, because past 3 times, the audience basically gets it.
Paracetamol, number 1, says she likes Lucas's mustache. Number 2, she didn't know that Uber crime
she
was
just didn't
actually
know.
his job. The Rico crime was his actual job, not the construction job.
Yeah.
But he thought construction was his actual job.
Yeah.
I was reading something that they said, like, kudos to the Westworld crew for their eye to detail. Like, if you look at the background of when he realizes it was actually in the U.S., like, even stuff like graffiti switches from being in Russian to being in English. So, like, if you go back and watch the episode again, when he thinks it's, you know, a job happening in Russia, it's all this, like, yeah, in Russian writing. And then as soon as he realizes what actually happened, it all switches and it's in English. But it's still the exact same shots.
Interesting.
Yeah. This show's, I mean, for those things, this show's incredible. And the set design was incredible. I remember those shots inside of Solomon. And I was just thinking, wow, this fucking show right now.
I like that Solomon looked, like, subtly different, but different enough where it wasn't just, like, you could tell it wasn't Rehoboam, or however the hell you say it.
Mm-hmm.
I really wanted them to give it a different voice, though. I was like, what voice are you guys going to give it? And they're like, default. It's like, fuck you, not default. Do something cool. I was really hoping they'd be like, Robert Ford.
I know, right?
That would have been cool.
I love that it started acting like Deep Thought from Hitchhikers. But I was like, this dude's going to tell him the last strategy's 42. What?
Katya says it would have been great if they told him to be Sean Connery.
Yeah, Sean Connery, or it's like Lizzo or something like that. Oh man, that was a big letdown because I know everyone was on the edge of their seats when they had like, oh, we have options.
Then default.
Or Sam Jackson.
Oh, Sam Jackson would have been amazing. Oh, did you notice the cop out at the end right before she pushes the EMP, where he's like, "Here's the strategy. You should know."
Oh yeah, one last warning. I was like, Jesus, really? You did that?
To me, that is
Westworld.
that is bald exposition for, like, that's how we're setting up next season. The one thing you didn't know is going to happen because you did this.
Mm-hmm. What the thing we read that season 6 is the last season.
You read. I've been telling everybody that you told me season 6.
Okay, I read headlines. That's it. I'm an American. I don't read news.
You're a bad
Read
American.
headline.
Wow. Okay, well, going back to the EMP, let's talk about this EMP real quick.
Oh yeah, I have problems with the EMP. Carla, you go first.
Why isn't her brain... So is Maeve, like, dead? Is she not dead? Because EMP should destroy everything electrical around it.
The article I read said that the assumption is that all it does is shut off all machines, not destroy.
Okay, I can see it that way.
But they didn't
So they're
explain,
just shut off?
They didn't explain that very clearly. But at least it helps explain things like if it did destroy, that fucking drive would be destroyed. Right? Because Caleb pulls out.
Yeah, because it's a big magnet.
Yeah.
By the way, Aaron Paul in 2 shows that with big problems get solved by big magnet. they cannot write him as Jesse Pinkman. They can't.
Why does Jazz is suddenly in the comments and she just said, "Did Lucas lie?" What does that mean?
I don't know. This is what she does when she comments now. She just tears into me every time she comments. I don't know what this is. I don't know what I did.
According to Paracetamol, if the EMP was strong enough to fry the drive physically, it would basically light Dolores, Maeve, and Caleb on fire. Interesting. No, Lucas was not lying about season 6, Jazz.
No, I sent an article that said it's going to finish at season 6. And I said, we read, and he's like, no, you read. And I was like, I didn't read. I just I just sent you the article. Anyway.
Moving on from Jazz's distracting us, even though she should be part of the chat.
There, here.
Oh, it's
Oh, no.
Oh, okay.
Wait, what's going
Oh,
on?
shoot.
Is Carlos still part of
What do
it?
you mean?
I think we're getting a position switch.
Ugh.
No. No, I'm here.
Paracetamol. Shit, I have to turn down the TV.
No, I'm not gonna cuss. I swear. I'm good.
How is his little earpiece also still working right after the EMP if everything else was turned down?
Okay.
I wish I knew, like.
Jazz,
was-
Jazz, turn off the Twitch stream. We can hear the echo.
Oh, my bad. I'm done.
Lucas, you were saying?
Yeah, that was confusing too. I was like, wait, aren't they all in the same building? Like he was just down that catwalk as that whole thing occurred,
Yeah,
right?
how is his earpiece EMP proof?
Yeah, because that EMP, like military grade, that shuts down the entire compound. I thought we were gonna go outside and watch Stubbs and Bernard collapse.
But they weren't there.
They were in an entirely different place, I thought.
The place they were at was in San Francisco, and they were, I think, on their way there.
Oh, okay. Oh, because that's where they boosted Will
Yeah.
out of. Okay, all right.
Mm.
What other thoughts do we have on the episode?
Did you already tell your thought about the last Dolores?
The last Pearl being a backup?
Yeah, backup Dolores.
Yeah, I talked about that. Somebody pointed out, costume-wise, that Clementine came back in a blue dress that was like the modern version of her dress from the brothel in Westworld.
Mm.
Which, nothing to do with theories, but just interesting on the costume
Oh.
design.
Also, when Caleb starts going into his story about Crimea, he says Dolores's first line, or the line that she says, which is, sometimes I think I never really had a choice.
Oh, yeah.
He starts that whole monologue with that line.
Oh. I didn't even notice that.
Dolores line.
There's a lot of, like, subtle callbacks. Like,
Which tells me that, like, the last 2 seasons are probably going to be him being the hero.
So
I
you
think as an audience member, like, we want the humans to win. Like, we don't want the hosts to win. I mean, you kind of do, a little bit, right?
because we haven't had a
shouldn't you
good
want humans
human.
But
can't-
that's what I'm saying. Like, don't you want humans to, like, get their shit together and, like, and work in harmony with these people?
Yeah, can't they coexist? Or
Which is what I think Caleb represents in this. So Will's the human that's the complete this end of the spectrum of all hosts should die, and I'm pretty sure Caleb's on this other end of we can live with him.
I think we're going to find out either at the end of this season or in next season that there's another enclave of hosts somewhere. I don't think the show survives without a bunch more hosts. I don't think it could all rest on the shoulder of Stubbs and Bernard.
Starting to not like Stubbs. I don't know why.
They've
but he
done
just
nothing.
annoys me now. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Him and Bernard, they just go places. Like, Bernard's gonna go here and look on this computer. Then he's gonna go over there and look on this computer.
It's like
I thought these are computers. Like, hack it. What are you doing? Hack it. Go to there from here.
it's like the final seasons of Game of Thrones, where people just like showed up places conveniently because it just had to happen.
Yeah. They're drawing out the Bernard William thing a little too long, and just tell me what what William's gonna do, please. Like, cause he's with 2 hosts. Like, they could just murk him just immediately. Like, there's no reason to keep him alive except the story saying we gotta keep him alive.
Well, I think they're afraid of killing off more hosts because they're just like, we've killed off a lot of hosts. If we keep killing them, we're not going to have any of them left.
Maybe Dolores wants to get the hosts that escaped to the digital Happy Valley to come back and be the real host bodies.
Interesting.
Maybe. But I think she also just wants to kill humans.
I don't think Dolores is out to kill humans.
I'm still on that. I still think she's good. Just kidding.
Everything we saw in this episode, I think, was more pointing toward her being good. And she's just fighting against a world that is bad.
She just wants free will. I think that's all she really, really wants at the end of the day.
Yeah, I'm with Jazz on that one.
When she realized that the humans don't have much of a choice either, she's just like, oh, well, down with a man.
And who the fuck knows what Maeve wants? I'm so mad at the treatment of the Maeve character.
Maeve is such a strong character, and they just gave her such a shitty storyline so far.
And they just made it like they even showed her training with the samurai sword to like get better, right? Am I crazy? Did that scene happened?
In this
Right?
episode?
No, last season, I think.
Last episode. Like literally the last episode.
Oh, what?
Yeah,
Really?
I think so.
With the samurai sword? The samurai sword? Certainly. She's so good.
I think you're right. I don't know. I hope they figure out something with her, but it's just like, to me, this is like a writing trap where somebody had this, we gotta have a really cool Dolores Maeve showdown at the end of the season. And they wrote everything toward that. And they threw like character development and true like motivations that make sense out the window for Maeve because they were just driving toward, we gotta have a Maeve Dolores showdown at the end of this season. And I don't like it.
Oh, also Breaking Bad mirroring, the high caliber rifle, the like automatically triggered high caliber rifle shooting at them from the window.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
There's
yeah.
another Breaking Bad thing in there, but that fight was cool. Like both of them had their own, like, because I think Dolores's drone was the small one,
Yeah.
and that was the one like placing targets on Maeve so the 50 cal could shoot, but Maeve had the big drone that shot her arm off. So that's
Yeah.
why they felt comfortable knife fighting.
Yeah, it was a
But,
cool
yeah,
fight.
I thought it was cool. But yeah, like talking about it, it's almost like this is tough to say being on a podcast about this show or live stream about this show, is that you kind of just don't talk about Westworld and that it's fine. You know what I mean?
Well, I made a comment where I was just like, remember when the show was like fun? It's all really serious now. Like,
Yeah.
Well,
you
yeah,
did.
there's so much at stake. They put the whole fucking world at stake. You know what I mean? Before it was just like, I just want to be a sentient robot. Can I just be a sentient robot? And now it's all humans must die. So
yeah, before we used to follow characters around that just wanted to shoot each other and fuck. And now, yeah.
Oh, I missed that. And that whole orgy scene from
Okay.
2 seasons ago.
Paracetamol. When was it fun? Hosts were getting tortured and shit. Yeah, but they weren't real people.
have you never played Grand Theft Auto before? Paracetamol. That shit's fun as fuck.
It's actually a really good analogy.
All right, it feels like we're winding down. Who think?
Yeah, because I have no idea what you guys are talking about, so I don't even want to like bring up old news.
I mean, we did. By the time you got here, we did pretty much talk about the whole episode already.
I
but-
know. That's why I was just like commenting, and then yeah, Carla decided to like pass it on. I was like, oh shoot.
He's being a pain in the neck.
Wow, really?
Theories for the final episode. Don't talk about next season, just the final episode. What's going to happen? I think Dolores and Maeve are going to have their real showdown because in the preview for the fucking season, they had a showdown on the catwalk or the bridge.
The catwalk.
The bridge in downtown LA that we haven't seen yet, so they both have to still be alive.
Yes.
Oh, Hailstorm, which is now her new name because she's like a burnt fire thing.
Aw, thanks, paracetamol.
Acceptable.
So Hailstorm is gonna make an appearance.
After getting fired?
Yeah.
Wait, who's Hailstorm?
Burnt, crispy Hale, crispy Charlotte Hale Dolores.
Oh yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah.
like
So
that name.
she has to.
Paracetamol hates the puns.
So she has to make an appearance.
Well,
I think.
We'll see the fifth Pearl. We'll see what's in Berlin.
Because eventually some of these players' motivations have to align. And I think that's why they said with Maeve and Dolores, like I think the show knows this is a problem right now with the show.
You think they'll?
Which is why I think lines like, why are you fighting for them even gets said, right?
Yeah.
Because I think as an audience member, we are supposed to be thrown off a little bit about like what's going on, and I think they know we're confused,
Oh, that's a good point.
and
Okay, crazy theory.
things will get wrapped up.
Crazy theory. Maybe there is a William Caleb connection. Dolores threw all of her chips into Caleb, and at the last minute, William gets Caleb to join forces with him, and then Dolores is just like, ah, fuck. And then Dolores and Maeve have to team up to fight William and Caleb next season.
Well, that would be interesting.
Yeah. So technically right now, I hate to draw this comparison, but we're at the point in the War of the Five Kings where people start making alliances with each other,
Yeah.
you know? And yeah, I think that's what's about to happen. Like people start picking sides, like it's going to be
Wait a minute. Does that make Bernard?
Switzerland?
No, Bernard is who's the Bran, and that makes Stubbs
God.
Hodor.
Oh my,
it totally fucking does.
oh my god.
Oh,
This is terrible.
and Stubbs is all fat and stupid too.
Oh my god! Oh my god! Charlotte Hale is the Hound.
No, you did not just do. Oh my god.
Oh, fuck. What if they are using this? What if they are using this to like right the wrongs of Game of Thrones?
Oh my god! There's a character that's a dragon.
Mm-hmm.
Oh man, this is too much.
All right, we gotta go. I could do this all night.
Yeah.
You clearly can.
Anybody else got anything, or should we wrap it up?
Wait, next week is the last episode, huh?
Yep.
Fuck. Yeah, I got nothing. I'm just gonna enjoy the ride and be pissed that I have to wait 2 more years
That's
for a
most.
fucking cliffhanger, which is probably gonna happen.
Well, it could be more than 2 years. Remember, production stopped everywhere, and I just read an article that until vaccines come out,
Oh shit.
productions, if they do come back, there's going to be things like no kissing scenes. There's no traveling to locations anymore. What else?
Ooh, all
So
Like there's a
everything's
whole, there's
gonna
a
be
whole
like
meeting of
CGI?
like big.
all green screen.
I don't know. Yeah, green screens, closed sets. Yeah, no visiting family members on sets, things like that. No more shared craft tables. So all these weird.
No crafty.
Yeah, so all these like really weird changes on sets are going to start happening if they do open up studios again anytime soon. Yeah, all these decisions are being made by like the big studio heads right now of how do we reopen slowly.
I
And so it's going
can't.
to make TV. It's going to be TV weird. Like the order for seasons, like the episode numbers are going to start going down. We might not even get TV shows with weekly release dates anymore. It could be like once a month kind of shows.
Oh my
because of
god,
how
are you
slow
serious?
Production's going to be. Yeah.
Wow.
They won't be able
Yeah,
to
it's
do The
gonna be
Bachelor.
weird. Everything's going to change. Yeah, all TV is going to change right now. It's going to be nuts.
It's gonna be, I don't know. I can't wait to see what the first movie or television show is that incorporates the pandemic.
Oh, man.
That's gonna suck.
Mm-hmm.
No kissing scenes. Fuck. No wild, crazy sex.
Probably not.
They'll just hint around about stuff. Just,
So this is
you'll see
gonna-
characters go off screen, and then you'll just hear noises in the background.
So what's the porn industry gonna do?
The same thing that I just said. All right, I'm calling it. This is getting weird.
Oh, sorry.
Good night, everybody. Thank you
yeah.
for joining. We'll see you back here next week at 8 for the final episode. Have a good night. Thank you, Lucas. Thank you, Jazz. Thank you, Carlo, wherever you are.
Oh, he's gone.
All right. Bye, guys.
Bye.
Bye.